We're welcoming back Ted Sevranski, professional sports bettor from out in Las Vegas, and we're breaking down some NBA action and some very interesting games. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and the Portland Trail Blazers. They'll be squaring off. Now, the Hawks, all right, they beat them by 9 last time they faced them. I know that Ted thinks the Blazers, and rightfully so, are a solid ticket right now. So the line as it opened up is looking like -3.5. Hawks are going to be road favorites. Ted, first of all, welcome back. And also, if you will, break this down for us. And what do you think, where do you think, I should say, the Blazers hold that edge and that value in the ticket on this ball game being a home dog?
Yeah, and I mean, Portland is a team that, they really went through a rough stretch in December and into January. Brutal schedule, multiple injuries, and they struggled as a result. Some bad losses, some bad home losses. They got swept on a homestand to open, at the beginning of January with Memphis and the Clippers and the Warriors all coming in there and beating them. But a funny thing has happened over the course of the last week and a half for Portland, and I've got my eye on this team as a strong bet-on squad moving forward.
Wow.
And number one, they've gotten healthier. And the key guy for Portland, obviously, is Damian Lillard. I don't know that there's a more underrated player in the NBA than Damian Lillard. This guy is as good a point guard as there is in the league, but he plays in Rip City. You don't see him on TV. His team's not a playoff team, et cetera, et cetera. He doesn't get the hype. He's amazing. If you watch him play, he is absolutely amazing. And he's a bet-on guy. Lillard was hurt. Now he's healthy. Big difference. The second thing the Blazers are doing, they're playing low-post defense. Again, it's a cast of no-names. Nobody wants to talk about Myers Leonard, But Terry Stotts has been a really good head coach in Portland on a consistent basis. He's gotten that team to overachieve. And guess what? That low-post defense, you look at their recent games, they're shutting teams down. They're shutting teams down on the defensive end as well as getting good looks in the paint. So you have a team that went through the gauntlet injury-wise, went through the gauntlet schedule-wise. The markets have devalued them as a result. Now they're scared of the Hawks. That's the only team that Portland plays with a winning record over like a 9 or 10 game span. So their schedule's gotten easier. They're coming off a successful road trip. And again, the markets don't tend to like teams coming home in that first game off a successful road trip. We're home. Let's relax. And that is why this number is as high as it is on Atlanta. I'm not buying that for Portland, especially given the situation in the West right now, where that number 8 seed, a playoff spot, is wide open for anyone who can take it, including a team like the Portland Trail Blazers, who I expect to be there.
Ted, also, what has really gone unnoticed and unseen, and you pointed it out with Terry Stotts, he's done a great job. This roster took one of the most major changes in all of NBA during the offseason. All right, they had a lot of
nobody lost more than Portland.
Exactly. So they had a lot of pieces to fill. C.J. McCollum has stepped up admirably as well. So I like what he has done, and he is a player's coach. He was a good ball player when he played. You didn't hear much about him, but he got in and he did his job night in and night out. The Hawks, on the other hand, just another team that's really been inconsistent. Which team's going to show up? Which Al Horford will step up? So I like that play. So you're feeling very good about them -3.5, or actually Blazers getting 3.5 on the home court, and wouldn't be surprised if they get the outright victory.
Yeah, and again, I'm not a huge trend guy, but it's worth noting. You take a look at Atlanta. You ask them in this mid-range favorites role. Let's just call it, I don't know, -3 to -7.5. All right, that mid-range favorite. They've been abysmal in this role. 1-7, 2-7. I've got them 5-10.
Wow.
Consistent money losers in this situation where they're supposed to be a little bit better than the team that they're playing, and they haven't really lived up to those expectations. And the Hawks, look, Atlanta, I loved this team last year. I would have Mike Budenholzer was my boyfriend a year ago. The guy was unbelievable, and he made me so much money, and it was a streak. It was an epic streak for Atlanta throughout December, into January, into February. They had about a 2-month point spread run that's as good as any run that I've ever seen in the NBA.
You know, another thing with him, not to mean to cut you off whatsoever, I'm a big Budenholzer fan as well. I mean, 16, 17 years on the bench with Popovich, you know he knows something about big games and winning championships. It's amazing where the Hawks are right now as opposed to where they were last year. They didn't lose a lot. I think it was DeMarre Carroll might have been the only player they really lost.
Big loss. Big loss, DeMarre
definitely,
Carroll.
and a big gain for Toronto.
Don't underestimate that loss.
Absolutely.
You know,
I don't think it's going to be long, though, Ted. I think the Hawks will pick back up. I like this spot with you, though. I don't think it's going to be tonight in Portland. So, all right, well, we appreciate the breakdown, Ted. Blazers getting 3.5 on their home floor against the Atlanta Hawks. So tune in, and we'll see what Ted's got tomorrow. Ted, thanks so much for being with us. Have a great night, and as always, beat the book.